Hi! Welcome to Freaky Fun Fridays on the Farm.
Yay!
Yay! And I am your host, Kristy Trione, and look at my special guests, my mom Helen and my step-mom-in-law friend Barbara and her two pups, Max and Daisy, and a special friend, Krista. And where are we?
Moab, Utah!
Woohoo! We road tripped Moab this week to see Krista, who was on the farm with us 8.5 years ago. And so we just bonded, and this was an excuse to do a road trip to come see Krista and spend some time with my mom. So come along, because it's going to be super fun.
You are here in Clear Light Labs, Consciousness Design, specializing in syntropy and the Kala Chakra. And syntropy is a concept of the self-organizational principle in nature. So we have the idea of entropy, which is systems tending to move into greater chaos and stress. And syntropy is when systems tend to come into greater alignment, self-organization, and harmony. So I am interested in designing consciousness as an antidote to the modern systems of dysregulation that come through power over dynamics, a lot of colonization, some might even argue domestication. So some of the tools that we use here in Clear Light Labs for consciousness design are a prism, and a prism allows us to explore prismatic consciousness. And so that is multiple, 3 concepts orienting toward one another and then articulating something new through their relationship. And as you can see, even though it's starting to rain outside, we have a whole wall of windows with beautiful clear desert light that come in. There's a tradition out of Tibet called Dzogchen that I quite like, and they talk about consciousness is like a mirror, a crystal ball, or a prism. And I think had those Tibetan monks known about discos, they probably would have thought that discos balls also have consciousness elements to it. So I think that's a 4th component. We also have magnifying lenses and reduction lenses. Back in the day when I was first getting my start in stoneworking, I did portraits of the dead and scenes on headstones. And so this is a granite etching that I did of a white tiger. And as you can see, it has an element of photorealism. So when you do an etching, you do something in negative. And what's fun about this and all of these tools is behind Kristy is a big white wall for projection purposes. So when we capture light on a granite etching, we receive it here and then we bounce it, and the negative turns back into a positive.
My gosh.
So that's one of the tools that we can explore here. We also have different kaleidoscope tools. Mm-hmm. And there's crystals, of course. We have a mirrored cube. This is crystals, and for those of you who are not familiar with piezoelectricity and pyroelectricity, non-Brazilian quartz crystal has the potential to light up, and that's what all technology is predicated on, is piezoelectricity. So that goes nicely with optical calcite. Optical calcite has double refraction, so you can hold it over anything and it will show you a double refraction. These are authentic crystal balls, and they are super fun. I have tried to even begun to document how many different dimensions you can see in them at a given moment, and it's almost impossible to keep track. And then this is a sculpture from an old friend of mine from years ago named Roundy, and it's a giant glass egg filled with glass bubbles. And so the light comes pouring through that and then diffracts in different directions. So these are some of the tools that we can use to overlap light and understand how consciousness works by studying the physics of light.
Wow.
And then with selenite, which is the selenite that goes into this base, it's a 66-pound crystal that I showed Kristy.
It's
and
incredible.
selenite's quite remarkable because depending on which kind of selenite you have, not only is it reflective and translucent, so you can see through it and reflect in it at the same time, but it also slows time. So your reflection and you do not line up. And in fact, if light comes through, whether it be moonlight or sunlight, and casts a shadow, the shadow will be moving slower than you will, which is a very interesting experience. And it's often for that reason used as a scrying tool. Pierce through the constructs of linear time and sequential causality.
Wow. Thank you, Krista.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming to Clear Light Labs, all the way out here in Moab, Utah.
All right, our Freaky Fun. So thanks for giving us an amazing Freaky Fun Friday. We just are so appreciative that we got to be here and that you're here too. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.